All right, folks. So we've got the air quality group and the Las Colinas watershed group today, and then afterwards, with what time we have left, we can go back to my room 56 for a little potluck. In the meantime, how about a round of applause for the air quality for going out of order. You're the best. All right.
Hi, I'm Meredith. I'm Angela. I'm Nicole.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Maddie, and we're the air quality group.
How many of you guys have been affected by the recent California fires? Well, this semester we were assigned a project that affects our daily lives and environment, air quality. Air quality is the degree to which the ambient air is measured by a number of indicators. This affects us because it affects our homes, our health, and most importantly, our environment and nature.
At the beginning of the semester, our group set out a list of goals that we wanted to accomplish by the end of the semester to fulfill the campaign aspect of our project. One of our goals was to meet with Terra Linda's administration to talk about air quality numbers in regards to the school's closure last November. We also wanted to install a new air filtration system in the gym and put a vegan air filter on the school. Another one of our goals was to host a science seminar to educate more people about this air quality issue, and we also wanted to collaborate with the garden group.
So, like Nicole said, the first of our goals was to meet with the Terra Linda administration to learn more about air quality and at what point are the schools canceled. The second of our goals, and most importantly, was to get a beacon air monitor put on our school. This plan, however, fell through because Beacon is not expanding to Marin until next year. So innovatively, we decided to raise enough money to buy a purple air monitor to replace the Beacon air monitor that we planned on putting on the school before. Another of our goals was to host the Marin Air Quality Science Seminar. We did not host the Marin Air Quality Science Seminar, however, most of us attended it, and we filled out our public campaign by presenting at the Terra Linda Academic Excellence meeting.
At the start of our project, our group wanted to know more information about air quality, so we all researched a different aspect of it.
My research topic was creative ways to minimize carbon emissions.
My research project was on the risks of bad air quality.
I researched what an air quality index is and what is particulate matter.
I researched the global effects of air quality.
I researched some different tips and tricks that you can use to improve your indoor air quality.
I researched the health effects of smoke on both the human body and the environment.
Outline of the semester. Like we just explained, we started off this semester with our research projects so that we could expand our knowledge on air quality in general. After this, we started to brainstorm all of the different ways that we could take this project and all of our different goals. We discovered that for a lot of our stretch goals, we would need some funding. So we had a bake sale to be able to cover this and have as many opportunities as we could. At this first bake sale, we ended up running into an event that caused us to have a meeting at the Marin County Office of Education that was a really great kickstart that got our project rolling.
Throughout the semester, we decided to work on campaigning and raising awareness. We did this by holding 3 bake sales, which Natalie discussed earlier. Here, we were able to talk with people from all walks of life, including the superintendent of Marin County Schools, Mary Jane Burke. She approached us at our very first bake sale and offered to help. This led us to have 3 meetings at the Marin County Office of Education. Our first was with Ken Lippy and Mike Grant, where we discussed Terra Linda's air ventilation system. Our second was with the Health and Human Resources, and our very last meeting was with the head of maintenance. We also handed out 50 flyers at the Novato Fair, which contained information about the dangers of air quality in Marin County.
In addition to all of these public components, we also held many events during this semester. One of our first events was our presentation at the Academic Excellence meeting to almost 50 parents that are members of the 1TL Parent Committee, and also a few members of administration. At this meeting, we were able to discuss what we were doing with this project and some of our goals, as well as hand out an informational flyer that was given to us by Mike Grant, the head of Human Health and Resources. We also, for our collaboration aspect, worked with the MarinSEL garden group and attended one of their work days. In exchange, we planted 3 native fruit trees that will sequester carbon throughout the year, as well as beautify the garden in the process.
So Natalie, do you know how many pounds of carbon a tree sequesters in 1 year?
I don't. Does anyone in the audience have a guess?
It doesn't have to be right. You can just guess.
30.
Close.
48.
Correct.
We did face a few challenges as smooth rolling as our project seems. I would say our biggest challenge was trying to get the beacon air monitor installed here at TL. We didn't find out until really late in our project that beacon isn't expanding to Marin until next year. So with very little time left, we had to figure out another air monitor company to work with. We were lucky enough to find Purple Air, and they've been very responsive and cooperative in working with us to place an air monitor here at Terra Linda. However, this did raise another issue: lack of funding. Since our original air monitor was going to be free and our Purple Air monitor is $280, we had not raised nearly enough money to pay for this. So we had to raise another bake sale. But at this busy time in the school year, none of us really could. As a solution, we needed to remind each other that lead has to come first. We need to prioritize our project if we wanted it to be as successful as possible. And once we did that, everyone was able to make a bake sale and we successfully raised enough money to buy our Purple Air monitor.
Through our project and all of these wonderful events, we've collected some measurable results. To start off our project, we planted 195 seedlings. Sadly though, most of these seedlings did not work out, so we ended up planting another 60. We also planted 3 native trees in the Terra Linda garden. We also had a representative at the Novato Fair pass out 50 flyers and educate many more. At the Terra Linda Academic Excellence meeting, we also educated 40 parents, the principal and vice principal. This is a total of 90 people, not counting the people that we educated at our bake sales to help support our cause. At the last bake sale, we met Mary Jane Burke, which let us have 3 more meetings at the Marin County Office of Education. The last of these meetings was with the Board of Maintenance of the Marin County Schools. We met with 8 districts and talked about the maintenance. We also ended up raising $286 through 3 bake sales, which was just enough to buy the Purple Air monitor, which is what we did. We bought 1 Purple Air monitor. And when you add up all of these, when you add up all of these numbers, what do you get? One amazing experience.
We've had various accomplishments during our project. Starting out with our in-class activity, which is what you see a picture of here on the board. We used fortune cookies to share air quality facts with the class, then did a mini scavenger hunt and a Kahoot to review what they'd learned. We used this same air quality information to educate the public at our 3 bake sales, which led to a lot of further achievements, including our 3 meetings at the Marin County Office of Education. Specifically at our meeting with the Board of Maintenance, we learned a lot about how to better Terra Linda's air filtration system. We then brought this information back to our principal, Ms. Dunlap, and she was able to send an email out to all the teachers explaining what they can do to keep our air filtration systems clean. Next in our project, we had a work day with our partner team, the MarinSEL Garden Group. We planted 3 trees in the garden, sequestering a lot of carbon. One of the last things we did was buy our Purple Air monitor, and as a culmination of our project, we had a paragraph written in the Terra Linda newsletter explaining all of the highlights of our project and why air quality is such an important issue we need to address.
Throughout the course of this semester, we've all personally improved. For instance, I believe that I've improved on engaged learning because during the beginning of the year, I was more focused on my family life, but I overcame that and decided that it was best if I tried my best and studied my hardest I could to make my parents proud.
I believe that I've grown the most this semester in thoroughness because at the beginning of the year, I would quickly agree to a project or event and believe that all of the small details would be able to work themselves out. But because of this initial attitude, we ended up having a bake sale where we sold out of goods without reaching our desired fundraising goal first. So I decided that I needed to change my attitude and focus on the details, not only the big picture, so that way at future bake sales we could price everything appropriately and we're able to have a much more successful time.
I think I grew the most in my communication skills because at the beginning of the year, my ability to express my thoughts clearly were not as effective as they are now. Now I express my thoughts more clearly, which helps my group to be more successful.
For me, I feel I've grown the most in taking initiative. At the beginning of the year, I simply did the work that people told me to do. But as the semester went on, I began volunteering and helping out a lot more. An example of that would be that I volunteered to reach out to the vice principal and principal of Terra Linda to get a meeting set up with them, instead of waiting for someone to assign that job to me.
I think I've grown a lot in distribution of work. In past years, all throughout middle school and even up to last semester, I was always the person in the group to pick up other people's slack. If they didn't do their job, I'd help and do it for them because I always just wanted us to get the best grade. But something I've really learned with the help of my teammates this semester is that sometimes it's not about the grade, but about the learning you're getting out of the project. And once I realized that, I was able to see that by distributing the work fairly, everyone was doing their fair share and learning a lot, and I was not feeling as stressed out too.
Personally, I believe that the area in which I grew the most in is speaking up. At the beginning of the project, I always struggled with properly expressing my thoughts. Even when our project was planning on taking a turn into a direction that I was not quite happy with, I did not stand up for myself. And although our project turned out perfectly fine, I realized that next time I may not be as lucky for somebody else who believes in the same things as me to speak up for me. So recently I started speaking up for myself and giving other people a chance to speak up for themselves too.
Even though we did get a lot done this semester, there are still some aspects of our project that future groups can work on. For instance, they can work on transportation because we decided to go in a different direction for this project. They could also work on having a safety preparedness plan since there isn't one yet. Lastly, since next year will be the time of the fires, they can work on collecting more data from our air monitors.
Here's our creative video. It's a spoof of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but now it's Keeping Up with Air Quality.
Today's special episode on Keeping Up with the Kardashians is focused on our air quality group. This episode is focused on our air quality project and our growth throughout the semester. She would do that to me, knowing that, like, we have a baby. I know, we're so loud. Shut up.
Now to more important matters. The data from the air quality group. First, they educated 117 people through multiple bake sales and presentations.
Wow. Do you remember our first meeting?
I just feel like I've grown so much over the last year. I mean, at the first presentations, I was so scared. And in 8th grade, I even cried. However, now I feel like because I'm surrounded by such a sense of community and such a great family, and they've always supported me, and I know that I will always support them too, that I've grown so much, and I can't explain to you how much I've grown. You just have to see for yourself. They also raised $286. Big wow. They also planted 260 seedlings over the course of the semester, and planted 3 trees, 3 native trees.
That day was by far the worst of our entire project. Okay, you know what? It's dirt. Live a little. No! No! Oh my god! Oh my god! I'm not dying here! And there are people dying! You're fine! You know, my newest diet fad has been eating only plant I think we should do an episode of a reality TV show. What do you guys think? I love that. That's such a good idea. That's a great plan. Perfect. Hi, I'm Kendall Jenner, and today I'm promoting Purple Air, an air monitoring solution for home enthusiasts and air quality professionals alike. Buying the Purple Air Monitor was a creative solution to one of the many problems we had this semester. That's how I learned to be very creative. Kanye has always been creative. This project really helped me to show my creative side. Over the course of this project, we've had many successes, but with those successes came many challenges.
One of the challenges that we faced was one company that we were communicating with for a long time fell through and decided they didn't want to expand their products to Marin. And so unfortunately we had to look further and find a new company that would be more willing to work with us. And it ended up with Marin.
But the thing is, before all of that happened, we were in complete chaos because we saw half of our original company. We had to have multiple last-minute bake sales, which were a very difficult thing to do because none of us were prepared. We ended up not even raising the amount of money that we initially did.
I know that personally for me the biggest struggle is after spending hours planting more than 195 plants that the greenhouse fell over. And the way that we got over this was by coming up with other innovative ideas and solutions and taking the air quality group on a new path to a new solution to a different problem.
And the struggle we went through was that a lot of the school staff did not want to participate in giving us information about our county's air quality, which is a struggle that was hard to overcome, but we overcame it by finding other resources who gave us much more information than we could have ever gotten in the first one. As we learned from our meeting with Mary Jane Burke, change isn't something we should have to beg for. This is why we found alternate solutions when things didn't go our way. Because as the Kardashians, we go through a lot of struggles being a normal family, just like any others. But that's why we do what we can. That's a wrap on Keeping Up with the Air Quality Group.
Thank you to Naomi Asimo, Cyan Dandridge, Ray McClintock, Andrea Taylor, Tony Grimes, Hope Zabronsky, Lauren Azola, Mary Jane Burke, Andrew Ellison, Ken Lippy, Mike Grant, George Stratman, and everyone else who helped make this project successful.
We really hope you guys enjoyed our project. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer those for you.
So we have time for Q&A after each presentation. We'll ask questions for it. I'll start off. So what is the recommended parts per million air quality level that you would recommend to schools and districts going forward? And then what was your experience meeting with such powerful people, and what tips would you give to future groups when they meet with county officials or district officials or anyone like that?
So most of the measurements we used were in air quality index, not ppm. So like the general range you want to be in is from like a 0, but that's like
Sure.
really not possible. And then 50 is like right when it's nothing to be worried about, but like something's probably happening that's getting it higher up. So like 0 to like 40 is usually the range most places are in, and that's a really healthy range.
For meeting with very high officials, I would definitely say have points that you want to talk about, because they are there to help you. A lot of times they're there to help you and they want to hear your ideas. So if you come in somewhat unprepared and you expect them to have the ideas or that kind of stuff, it's not going to work out.
In addition to that, I would say that just don't be too worried about it, because like Maddie said, they're trying to help you. They want your project to be successful and they're on the same team as you. So as long as you are kind of prepared, they'll help guide you in the right direction, and they're just going to be there for you.
especially like utilizing that, were high school students. A lot of them were really impressed with us that we were able to find a cause we were also passionate about and try and really make change with it. And so they're all so happy to see kids in our generation making change, that they they want to help us out so much, and they were able to make our project everything it was. And I think they'd be so happy to do that with future groups too. So it's definitely a possibility as we keep going through our 3 years in MarinSEL.
The blue meter that you guys installed, can we access that data? Can we see that somewhere?
Well, for the purple air monitor, I
Oh.
know.
It's
fine.
never mind.
I know that the school gets the data. I think it's just up to the administration whether or not they'll make that public.
Oh, so it doesn't go online or anything?
Not that I know.
I believe it's averaged out for all of the Bay Area, so our data will go into that, but you can't see individually our school's data unless you look at the air monitor itself or what it's connected to.
Is there any integration with the stuff that you guys did with like the air quality board? I think there's one in the Bay Area. Or did you guys get a chance to kind of research that or know anything about that?
No, we don't know anything about that.
We didn't get a chance to look into that, no.
I don't know if they were related to anything, but most of us did attend the Marin Air Quality Science Seminar, so I don't know if they have anything to do with that, though.
Just out of curiosity, you said you planted 3 native trees. What variety of trees were those?
Asian pear and then
2 Santa Rosa plum. Oh wait, no, it ended up being 2 Washington navel orange trees and 1 Asian pear tree.
yeah,
Were
we
those-
started out with native trees, but then realized they weren't
They
fully
weren't quite
in
as
season, so-
available, so
Oh, I
we
see.
had to make a few compromises.
And where did you plant those?
In the MarinSEL garden.
It's at the back of the school in the garden.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions for this group?